I must be dreaming. I see your coffee next to mine. For years I've been sleeping, been living my life, and I was fine until I found you. My world became new.
If you have never heard one of Giada Valenti's songs, seen her appearances on ABC, CBS, Fox, PBS, or NBC, or have never seen her make her famed tiramisu, well, you are severely missing out on one of the most beautiful and genuine whirlwind hand-speaking Italian artists ever. She has dazzled audiences with world-renowned singer Andrea Bocelli and even performed on the country music stage of the Grand Ole Opry with Trace Adkins to perform Christmas songs. Giada makes audiences everywhere feel like family when they are in her presence. With a new project called Beyond, she plans to do just that with a full trip to Italy to experience more than just the tourist attractions, but the real lifestyle of the locals. Now, let's get to business.
You make me feel fearless, take on the world, the lies I had. I've been waiting a lifetime. When hopes were all gone, you made me find the 3 words I've never said. But today I'll say I love you. For the first time I believe you're gonna take me home. 'Cause you're the love of my life. You make me shine when I'm terrified. For the first time I believe in a love this strong. 'Cause we made it through. I never have to prove what we have is true. And today I'll say I love you. For the first time. For the first time I believe you're gonna take me home. 'Cause you're the love of my life. You make me shine when I'm terrified. For the first time I believe in a love this strong. 'Cause we made it through. I never have to prove what we have is true. Here I am waiting for the morning sun, counting the seconds.
Hello, everyone. I am your host, Tatiana Ryan. This is the Businessy Podcast. And today I have with me someone special from Italy. You've seen her on stages from Italy to the United States. She has performed with such talents such as Andrea Bocelli, Trace Adkins, and Vince Gill. And she has been on your screens with ABC, CBS, Fox, PBS, and NBC. She is a gorgeous human inside and out. May I welcome Giada Valenti.
Hello, Tatiana. Thank you for the nice introductions. What to say? Just thank you.
No, thank you for being here because we have so much to talk about. You were just telling me the perfect time to come to Italy is September.
Perfect time to come to Italy is always, but yeah, it happens that I do a trip to Italy in September. So I said to everybody, September is the time. No, I mean, the spring and before the autumn, like September, from May until September, Italy is spectacular, but it's nice all the year round.
Now, where are you located at right now?
I am just outside Venice in a place called Portogruaro, which is the place where I was born and raised. And I happen to be here right now with my parents. So that's why. Because normally I'm in Las Vegas, but you got me in Italy.
Oh, well, I am so thankful for you to be here today because I want to talk all about Italy, number one, but I also want to talk about your singing career. What started you out in this beautiful music career that you started. So give us the scoop as to where you started out and how you knew you wanted to get into music.
Well, I started as a child and I started like most of the maybe all the singers in the world. I started in church. I was following my grandmother. She was a part of the choir here in Portogruaro in our Duomo, in the main church. And I've been told, because I don't remember that I was maybe 4 or 5 years old, and I was going with grandma to the rehearsal of the choir, and I had learned some of the song. I started to sing, and people would say, "Hey, that kid can sing, can carry a tune." And it was my grandmother actually that suggested to my parents to take music lessons. So I went for piano classes actually when I was 5 or something, so I could write notes before I could write A, B, C, D, and the letters. And I never stopped. So then my grandmother suggested to my family to send me to do some vocal training. So I went for classical music in the beginning, because that's the basic of singing. And so I was a mezzo soprano, so I didn't have the highest soprano voice. It was the mezzo. So the role for the mezzo soprano were not many, but one of my favorite was the Carmen. Which everybody knows. And I went to take some lesson. And I remember the first time, maybe after a year, I was going with this teacher for vocal training. I was maybe 11. We were learning the Carmen, la, 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 la. And I remember, and the teacher stopped me. She said, "Oh, no, you're not supposed, you have to do la, 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 la." I was like, "But I feel it different." He said, "No, that's not the way classical music is." So I went home and I said to Grandma, "Grandma, that classical thing is not for me." "What do you mean?" I said, "Because there are rules." And I was free. So I went for jazz class, which was like as free as you could. And then from there, I mean, I'm very grateful that I continue then to take also classical training, because you learn how to breathe. You learn the basic of things, like classical piano is the thing. But then I went my own direction. And basically now, to go back, fast forward, I'm always say I'm a singer of great songs. They can be pop, they can be rock, they can be jazz, they can be anything. And I just give it my spin and I sing it the way I want it. I think that's what music is. You feel it and you sing it. That's what
Just those few little notes you did of Carmen just give you chills. I love it.
A classical person who said, "No, that's not the way to do it." Yeah,
Yeah.
I love classical music to this day, though. I mean, Maria Callas is, I mean, when I hear the classical music, I'm like, wow, I could have been one of those. But then I'm like, I think I enjoy more listening to that kind of rigid kind of way to perform, and continue to do my more free way of performing song, which, I mean, that's what I love about music, that is like, it's free. You feel it and you can perform it as you want. And then, of course, you have to be lucky that the audience likes what you do. But music is freedom to express ourselves. That's what music is for me.
How do you feel right now having Maria Callas, her biography, be put into a movie?
I've seen it actually. I mean, it's difficult for me, because it's a good question, because we in Italy, we really know Maria Callas very well, and because of me and my family. So when I saw that movie, is beautiful, it's spectacular. And I think that Angelina Jolie did an amazing job lip syncing to the voice of Maria. But I think they capture only the drama of the life of Maria. Maria was much more than that. Maria had a short life, but was larger than life. Maria was really, at the time, she was the top of the singer. She must have had an amazing time. And in the movie, they capture only the tragedy of it. So I loved it, but at the end of the movie, I was kind of sad, because I know Maria, maybe that's the way she ended her life, but she must have had some great moment. I mean, a love story that she had and everything, as tragic as they were. I mean, she must have lived a life that was so much full of more than what we saw in the movie, for me.
Well, Italy is so known for the dramas and the love stories and people coming to Italy to find themselves. And
I'm always saying, we in Italy, I mean, people around the world, they see the drama, they see La Dolce Vita, all this beauty. For us, it's just normal life, everyday life. So it's true that we have a lot of drama, because we are, let's say, if we are happy, we are very happy. Nobody can miss the fact that we are happy. And if we are really mad, nobody can miss the fact that we are really mad. Point out of it. But for us, it's normal. And I realized I'm married to a Dutch person. And I remember he was always telling me, you should not talk with your hands. You move your hands. I was taking classes for performing, and Vicky Stewart was my teacher. She was British. She was like, "You're not directing traffic, so don't move the hands." And I always said, you guys are just making something that is not true. And then one day I was by myself in a train in Italy. And so I'm looking at when the train stopped, and I'm seeing the people waiting for the train. And so there is no sound of the people waiting for the train, but I see them all. It's true. Look at us. It's like we are directing the traffic. Nobody was talking like this. And so I said, yes, I mean, it's our way of communicating. We need hands. Once they made me, when I was doing some promo for PBS, they decided when I was doing my PBS special, we were doing like one of those promo, you know, come and see my show tonight. And they decided to give me a cup of coffee because I thought it was nice with the logo of PBS. So said, we're rolling. And then suddenly the cup is moving. And the director said, why is she moving the cup? And my husband said, because she's Italian. She can't talk without moving. So no cups for me. I needed my hands.
Oh my goodness. So when you started music, who kept you going? Who do you credit to? Because it's a long process getting someplace in music.
I think my parents, for even though I had to do serious study, I studied psychology and everything. My parents were just like, do whatever you want, and myself. I think because let's say trying to make something in the music business is not. You have to have. I always say you have to have passion. You have really to want it because there is more difficult or dull moment, you know, when really you're just doing things that have nothing related to the passion, because the passion for a singer is to perform on a stage or to record the things. But let's say that's only 10% of all the rest. That is the preparation, the studying, is a business. So I personally also approached music as a music business. So there are many things that an artist need to do that they're not really related to what we love, which is the music. So I think I kept myself going in a way that I really wanted. I always say I would have been, I have a degree in psychology. If I would have been a psychologist, I would have such a much easier life. You know, wake up in the morning, I work 9 to 5, I go to bed with nothing in my head. But I decided a more difficult one because I follow what I really love. I follow my passion, which is good and bad. I always say I could have had a much easier life maybe, but no, but music is just something that it's in my core, it's my heart. So I cannot stop singing. I cannot stop dreaming of doing more things with music. So I think it's been also myself that I just, but when sometimes, you know, young musicians or singers, they say, what do you suggest me to do? I just say, if you really love what you do, I don't have to tell you what you do. You're going to keep going and going, even if you get a wall on your face, you're going to move forward, trying to and hoping that you're going to find an open door, and you keep going, no matter how many times people will tell you no, no matter how many times things are going bad, you keep going because it's something that you have in your DNA. You can't stop it. I mean, no music for me would be almost no life. So.
Now, in 2005, that was the year that a record label in New York noticed you.
Yeah.
What was that decision like to take that leap and say, okay, I'm going to leave Italy and I'm going to go to New York and we're going to do this?
I was already not in Italy. I married a Dutch person, so I was living in Amsterdam.
Okay.
No, I was living actually in London at the time for 11 months. Yeah, I started to. I write also music, so I had done some stuff in the Netherlands as a singer and songwriter pretty well. I was already having an establishing my career there. Then I started to wanting to co-write some different music. So I went to London, and in London I wrote some beautiful English songs. So I had to move to London, and I had a publishing deal. And I remember I was in Denmark writing songs for other performers and for others. So I was writing for myself in Italian and for all the other people in English. And one of the writers I was writing with, he said, let's write something in Italian for you. So I wrote a song called Italian Signorina, still somewhere on Spotify, people can listen to it. And my husband, that in the meantime was working for television, but was already transitioning into becoming my manager, he said, it's a cool song, let's send it around. And we send the song to New York, to RCA, which was the label of Whitney Houston, Christina Aguilera. They had their Clive Davis, that is a big name in music. And we got invited to go to New York. I remember it was just before Christmas. I know you are a New Yorker. Mm-hmm. Christmas in New York is like Venice the whole year around, right? Mm-hmm. It's a dream. And I remember they put me in front of this question. They said, listen, maybe you can consider to move here so you can start writing songs with American writers, improve your English, but you need to move in New York. And me and JJ, my husband, we look and we were like, London or New York? I have to tell you, I didn't like London because the weather was always gray and, and I was like, hey. And I walk outside and it was snowing, it was Christmas music, was my kind of thing. And the decision was easy. And we took a leap of faith, like you said. We could afford at the time to do that. So we took an apartment downtown in Manhattan and we started an adventure. I was there for 11 years before moving to Las Vegas, where I have my home now. So I loved it. I loved it. What is not to love about New York?
That's okay. You bring that up, that you were in London for a while and you have been able to perform in such iconic places like the Abbey Road Studios in London, which
Yes.
is every person that is an icon has recorded there. Like, what is it like for you to walk into these places and be able to write music and perform with different people and everything?
It's I'm always say it's very special. Abbey Road, actually, I had been there even before because actually Abbey Road I recorded 2 years ago there, a Christmas album with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. I recorded there. I was there also when I was living in Amsterdam. We went to master my music, and to tell you something, we walked in Abbey Road. I mean, it's those world cool talk, right? They heard all the music, and I remember we mastered my album at the time, and the guy that was mastering my album, he said, oh, this is the same mastering machine that mastered all the music of the Beatles. And I was like, oh my gosh. My music is going where the Beatles were. It's just magical. I did also some recording at Capitol Records in Los Angeles where Frank Sinatra and Barbara Streisand, all of them. I mean, you walk inside those places. For us musicians, it's like, I don't know, it's like for an art lover to walk inside the Louvre, or even more to see a painter painting the Mona Lisa. It's just like you feel, and there is something. I spend a lot of time in Nashville now. And in Nashville, they have a lot of those old studios where I'm a huge Dolly Parton fan. And you go there and they tell you, no, here's where Dolly, and you look around. Maybe it's a fantasy that we musicians have, but you feel like there is a vibe. And they say actually that they don't change, not even the chair and the couches in those places. They keep some of the room untouched because there is a kind of a vibe. When you go inside, it's just like you are even more creative if it's possible. It's like some stuff stays in the air from those genius, because I'm always says we're all musicians, singers, performers, but there are some people that made history, and those are just huge. I mean, we mentioned Dolly Parton, the Beatles. I wonder how many of the nowadays artists will be 40 years from now having the same impact into music that those people had. Probably it will. Time will tell. But sometimes I wonder. But
well, they will always have an impact because they have the impact on the newer generations coming up. And you, lady, have been able to perform with some big names: Andrea Bocelli, Trace Adkins, Vince Gill, as you just mentioned, Nashville. You've been on the Grand Ole Opry stage. Tell us about all that.
But the performance with Vince Trace and that you mentioned, that was just like a surreal. I love Christmas music, so I had just recorded this album with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. I collaborated with them, and when I was talking to JJ, which is also my husband and manager, we were like, it would be nice to have some duets. And JJ said, who would you love to duet with? I remember Vince Gill, because for me, it's just like the purity of his voice. And JJ said, okay, let's ask. So I think we asked the manager of Vince Gill, which, I mean, comparing to me, I mean, Vince Gill, right? It's the universe, and I was just a little star down there. And the man is just the kindest of men. And I think a month after we requested, we got his voice. I remember I opened a computer in the morning and there is a message, and they say, here is Mr. Vince Gill's voice, and we did Blue Christmas together. And if you want to change anything, let us know. I was like, and I put it, and there is no music, only the voice of Vince. I have a blue. I'm like, I called Jay. Oh my God. So that was like that. So, and then I said, who is the other one? I always loved Trace Adkins, the slow voice, and the kind of a cowboy is really country for me. And I knew he loves music. So Jay just said, let's see if Trace wants to perform a duet. So, and I think a day after we sent a manager, Greg Baker, an answer, he called us actually, because he's everybody in Nashville is so friendly and down to earth. And he called us, and I remember JJ always said, yeah, you may not know my artist, Giada Valenti, because she's Italian. Actually, he said, I know her, because it happens that Greg Baker loved Italy. Who doesn't love it? And he had seen my media special from Venice with Love many years prior. And he said, me and my wife, we love the music, so we know her. Let me ask Trace. And Trace, of course, said yes. And I remember, so even before we recorded duet, his manager said, would you love maybe to do the duet when we have it? This was like September, to perform with him at the Grand Ole Opry, the duet. I was like, and I said, I think he gave me the date, and I said, are you free? I said, yeah. I was like, no, and I cancel everything. And so I was like, and so when I went to the Grand Ole Opry, fast forwards to the night, I mean, I noticed that there is the circle, the famous circle that comes from the Raymond theaters. And of course, Trace Adkins was inside the circle, right? I was just singing with Trace. And I remember that I walk inside the circle, that I realized later that that's actually is like Holy Grand. And I remember, I will never forget Trace looking at me like, okay, come in. I was just like surreal. So yeah, it's things, I saw the Michael Bublé, talking about a big name. He just had his Grand Ole Opry debut maybe 6 months ago, and he was posting everywhere in the social media. I said, Jesus, I said to JJ, I had the Grand Ole Opry debut before Michael Bublé. No, it's very special. And then again, when you are at the Grand Ole Opry, I don't know if you've ever been, there is a backstage, it is magnificent. Everybody that you meet there, everybody's so friendly, so kind. Even Trace Adkins. I mean, when I sang with him, I mean, he knew. You walk inside the Grand Ole Opry, you have 5,000 people over there. Beside that, he's on the radio, but you have this big audience. It's a magical place. And I remember Trace took his head out and he welcomed me. And he had this eye contact that made me feel like I belonged to the place. And it was just fun. I don't know if you ever seen my performance with it. It was fun. I made him sing in Italian, by the way, which was like my claim of fame, right? For the Grand Ole Opry. To these days, when I go there, I say, hey, she's back.
No, that's great.
Right.
That's so awesome. And you still travel there all the time, right?
Yes. Actually, I've been working on another huge project in Nashville. It's a project of duets with another singer, not Trace Adkins or Vince Gill. So I spend a lot of time in Nashville, and every time I'm there, I always I've met so many Grand Ole Opry members. So if I'm in town, I always write to one of them, and I go backstage and I walk around the Opry. I don't know if you've ever been to the Grand Ole Opry, but it's like a museum there, and you walk around, you see the dress of Dolly Parton, the shoes of Carrie Underwood. It's just, even nowadays you have those big names. It's a beautiful place. And I'm Italian, so I always say Nashville feels like Italy in a way that they are very friendly. They hug people. They really down. I mean, I was talking after I record with Vince Gill, my duet. I mean, Vince Gill is just royalty and he was thanking me for duetting with him. And I remember I said to him, do you even know who you are? I mean, you are Vince Gill. And he said, Giada, he said, my dream when I started this thing was always to just play and perform with other people. He said, that's what I love about music, that it can be done together with other people. So he said, I'm always honored when somebody asks me to do something with them. I thought that's very beautiful. That's what music is, by the way. And it's not always the case. I mean, you meet also people that are very famous and they don't see let's say the one that are less famous than them. I won't say below, because maybe they are as talented as they are, but they didn't have that luck to become that big famous, and they are kind of arrogant. And that, for me, I'm always said that's despicable, because the only difference between, let's say, an artist and famous and the one that is not famous is because they didn't have the opportunity, or maybe also the talent. I mean, when I say, but I've seen people that are super talented and nobody knows them, and I said it's not because it's just they didn't have the luck, or maybe they didn't. I don't know what it is, but I mean, nobody should be arrogant. I mean, bottom line, you are what you are because you have an audience that loves you, not because you are very special.
I have to ask this question because just the other night, Beyonce just won a Grammy for a country album. It is very controversial right now that she is, quote, not country. What do you say to that? Being from a different country yourself and being able to duet with these artists also, who, like you just said, embraced you.
I think, I think Beyonce sometimes maybe she got this kind of reaction because it's Beyonce. And, when you are very famous, you're going to have the people that love you and a lot of people that hate you and they invite you for whatever. So, she's no country, but I'm also no country because she did it, I think, as a tribute to country music. I want to see it like that. And I'm surprised that the country people say that about her because in my experience, they are very welcoming. So maybe she didn't present it herself properly, but I mean, and listen, even country music is not a honky-tonk country that it was before. They also went into other directions. They embrace also more kind of pop, kind of rock music. So it shouldn't be not only not even be a discussions. I mean, she won because the album is nice. I mean, I've listened to a couple. So is it my favorite country album? No, but it's Beyonce, and I think she did it. I wanna hope and believe that she did it for respect and love for country music and not just because the discussion was also that one. Country music is very mainstream and popular right now. So maybe her music in that genre that she was fading away. So many people think she went country because country is very popular. She wanted to stay up, so she went country. I don't know if that's the reason. I don't know Beyonce properly. I would just say she did it, and I want to believe that she did it with a heart like I will do. Let's say if my dream is also to do a country album. Would I do that because country music is very popular? No, I do it only because I love it. I know I have an Italian accent, so nobody's waiting for me, expecting for me to sing Jolene, 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 but I love Dolly Parton. So I hope and want to believe that she was moved by the same thing I would I would love to do a country album because I love the music. It's not the reason, then I don't know. But when you are that famous, I see it in my little thing. You have people that loves you, which are your fans, and you put yourself out there. So you're always gonna have people that judge you. My mother always say, I wish you would have done another job, not the musicians, because she knows when you put yourself out there with an opinion, with something that is yourself, you're always going to have the people that hate you. If I work at a supermarket at the casa, nobody will hate me. Nobody would even know who I am, right? If I'm trying to be somebody, you put yourself out there and you're going to be judged. And so it's sad, but that's the way it is. But I do believe that there are more people that loves you than people that judge you and hate you. So
I love the album, so I thought it was a lot of fun.
yeah, me too.
Yeah, and that's what music is about. It's supposed to make you feel
And I
things.
mean, it is Beyonce, come on.
Yeah, exactly. It was a lot of
Hey.
fun. So,
Yeah.
but you just mentioned also putting yourself out there. You haven't just put yourself out there in music. You've put yourself out there in lifestyle also. You've hosted Columbus Day parades on PBS specials and done tourism from Venice, Florence, and Rome, like your homeland, and getting people to see the culture, which is already just so well known. How do you keep yourself from getting those nerves and doubting yourself in your talents?
I mean, I always say I do it because maybe I just love it. I just love what I do. I don't really, I mean, I care about what the audience thinks, and I know because when I perform, I know I can bring joy because they let me know, and I concentrated on that. So I do it on the point of view that I know that I have this gift that came from God, I guess. I don't know who gave me this gift. I have the opportunity to give emotion, to make people laugh, because if you come to my show, there is a lot of fun. I get to sing all this stuff. So it makes me happy, and I'm lucky to make other people happy. So I just do it for my grandfather used to say, if you follow happiness, you're going to be happy always. So I follow happiness. For me, music is happiness. So I don't think about because I mean, there are so many things that can go wrong. I don't concentrate. They go wrong. So you just move ahead. Something goes wrong. Okay, tomorrow better. I just do it with that point of view. And to these days, I always say one of the most beautiful things the music has done for me is I met incredible people, incredible fans that have become extended family to me. And sometimes I receive these messages that stayed with me. Like I remember when I had my PBS special, there was this woman from Long Island, by the way, no, from New Jersey, that she wrote me a message. She thanked me for doing the PBS special because there was one song, Love Story, the opening on the show, and she had a mother who had Alzheimer. And she had not, the mother had not recognized her for the longest time. And she said, when you were on PBS, we were watching, my mother turned the head to me and she said, I love this song. So every time she bought it, she pledged for the DVD, and every time she was putting the DVD only with that song, the mother was turning to her and she was always saying, I do love this song. So was her connection. I mean, how special is that? That a song can bring your mother back. And so she was playing Love Story so many times on YouTube, and that was very special because I have a good connection with my mother. So for that woman to let me know that one song, and apparently that happened only with my version, maybe there was something but there've been, I mean, there are people that they came to my concert and so many times and they use one of my songs for the engagement, and then they write me and said it's very special. I mean, you have to, I mean, music is something special, and I feel blessed, by the way, that I can do this, and I concentrate on all the good things the music does, because we can do a program and an interview about all the problems that music can create. It's not a secure business, right? You have 10 concerts and then you have 6 months nothing, so you have to juggle with your incomes. I mean, it's not like working at an office, so it's not for everybody. But and we're talking, I mean, all the people that succeed in this business is just because they are just like me, kind of crazy. They go. They go, moved by passion, which is, I'm always say, do wherever you do in life, do it because you really want to do it, because you love it, you feel it in your heart, and just do it. Bad, good, take everything and just make it something that will take you to the next day.
Having that passion to affect people, not only with your music, but also through food, you've done.
Yeah, that's what you asked me. Yeah, I mean, I do love to cook, and actually, the whole cooking on the American television was just because when we were doing the tour with the PBS special, we did the PBS special from Venice with Love, and then we were touring around the morning show. And the first time around, I was singing songs, and then the second time around, many of those studios did not have the possibility for singers to perform. So they asked my husband, "Does Giada cooked?" And she said, "Yeah, of course she does." And so I went. Some of the studios did not have a kitchen, so tiramisu was something that you could do without cooking anything. So I made so many tiramisu, and I gave food to everybody. I became an expert in making and I started to. And then I noticed during COVID that many people in the United States, they love Italian food. They go to the restaurant, they enjoy pasta alla carbonara, but they don't know how to make it. So I was during COVID making every Saturday a simple recipe, and I was having all this incredible reaction from people that were like, wow, I didn't know it was that easy to make this and that and the other. So, and for me, it's a passion of food. But you said before, you've never been to Italy. If you come to Italy, there is no place where you can go and the food is not going to be amazing, because we are just passionate about food. And cooking Italian food is very easy. I'm always say, if I can do it, anybody can do it better. But it's more of the time, most of the time, American, they don't dare to cook. They just go for easy. I saw that you guys have pasta in a can. I'm like, oh no, just boil some water, put some salt and some spaghetti, olive oil and cheese, and you have better things than what you buy in a can. So you just have to, and we are bottom line what we eat. So we need to eat healthy food, not processed food, and that's what Italy is. So I'm a huge promoter of that. Actually, I'm working on a project that really will show how simple is the life in Italy and beautiful it is beyond the city. And I want to see everybody that, I mean, in Italy we have a good life because we're really passionate about things. We are passionate about food. I didn't realize, for instance, until I married a Dutch person, that it's not common for people to talk about what we eat for lunch while we're having breakfast, and to talk what we are having for dinner while we're having lunch. But that's what the Italians do. We are really passionate about what are we going to eat. what are we gonna cook? What are we gonna make? It's just
Well,
like,
the meals themselves are events. It's something to get everyone together, right?
are you a foodie? Do you like to cook or
Oh
what?
yeah, I love it.
Ah, you see, then you have to come to Italy then.
And
You're
I
gonna
heard
get
it.
out of everything.
Yeah, I totally heard. I heard that you can eat a lot, and the quality of food is so much better that you're walking all the time too, and
You
yeah.
I mean, people always say to me, how do you stay skinny if you guys eat pasta every day? It's not pasta that make you fat, it's the portion and what you put inside. The American size of food are incredible. And I got used to it. If if I spend 8, 9 months in America without coming back to Italy, I get used to the bigger size. Then when I come here, I see that everything is smaller, more tasteful, but it's small. It's the portions, the fact that we move, and what we put in the food. There's no processed food. It's the processed food that make you kind of fat and not healthy. Yeah, in Italy, almost everybody is, even though I have to say, even in Italy, we start to see a lot of processed food because we have some McDonald's and even in Venice, we have many of those, but which is okay to go once a month. But young people, they don't know, they go every day. And you start to see also in Italy some problems that I know we have seen in the United States, in certain part of the United States, where people eat that bad food. But hey, but besides, if you come to Italy, you don't go to the McDonald's, so you're not gonna
Yeah.
have.
Oh
If
no,
you
no
come to
time for
Italy,
that.
people, don't go to the McDonald's. Just go to eat a tramezzino in Venezia, and you're gonna feel that you're gonna taste the food is just like out of this world.
All
Yeah,
right, let's change subjects. Let's talk style, because you are
style.
such a stylish person. And like, what is someone to expect when they either come to Italy or they come to one of your events? Because you yourself are so stylish. How should
Oh,
they dress?
oh, thanks. No, Italian, you should know that when you come to Italy, we always dressed up even to go to the gym because we have these things in our head. The people sees you, so you have to look properly and you have to put makeup to go to do food shopping. That's an Italian thing that we always try to, which I think is a good thing. About me, I love fashion. I really love I don't let's say I love to be dressed as well. I don't follow fashion in a way that I'm like, if today the fashion is to wear a certain outfit that doesn't go for my body, I will not wear it. You have to wear what suits your body type and your personality. So I'm not that kind, but I love to watch fashion. And I always say, when I'm on stage, people, I know they come there for what I'm wearing, which is nice. And I know that many Americans they don't like, but I would love to do concert where everybody's dressed up like me. Just, that you have an occasion, a concert where you say, oh, I'm going to see Giada, I'm going to wear a tuxedo and an evening gown. Why not? That's my wish. If I have a wish, I want to do concert with everybody's over the top dress. How beautiful is going to be that, right? So we go to see Giada. And so guys, if you're coming to my concert, dress up as crazy as you want. Fancy and nice is nice. There's no many occasion nowadays when you really can wear high heels, right? Think of me and you. When we wear high heels, me personally only on stage. But we saw you mentioned Maria Callas before. Have you seen the outfit that Maria was wearing? Even when she was wearing the nightgown, she was just like royalty. And I think we have missed a little bit. I have a theory indeed that fashion has these ups and downs, and we are in the down moment because I fly a lot. I take a lot. I'm always on the airplane, and I see some people wearing things, and I'm like, no. A pajama is not something to travel. A short mini skirt that you sit on a dirty chair in an airplane, that's not an outfit. Wear shoes. Nobody wants to see your dirty feet or ugly feet. Wear some shoes. So I think people should be more like we Italian, that we know people are looking at us. So we need to be a little bit taking care, a little bit, right?
Yeah, fashion is an expression of not only yourself, but your health, your mental health, your all of it.
Yeah, and then again, I'm always say there is fashion and style. Find something that suits your personality and that's your style. So I don't like because we have become a little bit where we all look the same. Everybody has the same outfit. I'm like, no, that's not fashion. For me, it's more important to be stylish in your own way. So you like a black long jacket, but the fashion say that this year is only short red one. Don't go for the short red one because somebody said to you that that's fashion. If you feel better with a long black one and it suits your body type, just go for it. I think that's, and I have sometimes discussion with my husband too, that he said, oh, you have to wear more of an open dress. And I'm like, I love those dresses where you don't see nothing, you leave everything to imaginations. I think that's where the woman is the best, where everybody imagine, but they don't see. I saw the Grammy. Have you seen the Grammy a couple of nights ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, nah, then we don't have a discussion there. It was too much, right? So, even though I must say Lady Gaga was very put together, Sabrina Carpenter was very elegant. Some of the younger kids I saw they did properly. But there were some incident where too much is too much.
Yeah. What do you think of that one incident?
That one incident, she's Italian too. You know what they asked me also yesterday what I think about it, Kanye and her. For me, honestly, between me and you, I think we're talking about her because of that. If he would have not done that, we would not be talking about them at all. So I think they do it because nobody will talk about them because they have nothing. Especially he at least he had some music career incidents and stuff. Like it or not like it, he had done something. Who is she? Nobody. The only thing she has is that. I feel sad the whole situation actually as a woman because she's a pretty woman. Somebody said I was reading that she's even an intelligent woman. She has some degree. So I'm like, why are you doing that to yourself just because you want people to talk about you? And what is scaring me more is it him telling you to do that? Then it's really sad if she's being used because we are talking about him because of her, because we don't, otherwise we will not talk about him anymore. He's in his way down.
Yeah.
So it's a sad situation. And I find, so I don't know. I always say if we will stop talking about it, maybe they will stop doing that, but maybe they will not. And I know people like to talk about nudity and kind of incident like this one, but it's not my kind of thing. So let's say, so it's
Well,
sad.
being so close to Milan in Italy and
Yeah.
having the fashion weeks and stuff like that, and even Tom Ford quoted saying fashion is a form of good manners. And you're putting yourself out there like that. You want people to know how you are. And having such exposure during those fashion weeks, Dolce and Gabbana being right there and all of that. Like I think that was just a very degrading type of act.
Yeah. But then again, she would have wore a beautiful Dolce and Gabbana dress, let's say, she would have not been even noticed because was another pretty woman wearing a Dolce and Gabbana dress. Me and you, we will not be talking about her today. I think she needed to make that statement to be noticed, both of them. And that's the sadness of the old situations that we are talking about it because of that. And maybe there were so many other people Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars were amazing. Nobody's talking about it. Say, okay, she won a Grammy, nice. But the whole attention went on that things. And I think we should rewrite the way we talk about people. Let's just take the good one and make a lot of buzz about the good things, and all this horrible and despicable thing, just let them be unnoticed. I know it's almost impossible because not what press is, what journalism, they like bad news and drama and things, and these kind of things. But I think if we would rethink the way we talk, we will see so many good things that were at the Grammy, for instance, that nobody will talk about it. The firefighters, that nobody's making a big thing about that. They gave the award. Let's more concentrate. For me, it was very special to see, for instance, Beyonce with her daughter. She brought girls on stage. I saw Shakira getting a big hug when she won by the two boys. How lovely would it be to talk about that? That suddenly we see Shakira as a mother, and we see Beyonce, not like Queen Bee, but like the mother bringing the girl on stage with her. I think that would be the thing that should go viral instead of that woman taking and showing. Then now you cannot even see it anymore because everything is blurred. So I'm like, what are we talking about? Let's not talk about it.
Okay, bringing that subject up. What is your feeling on the Taylor Swift factor? Like literally everything she is touching is turning to gold.
That's something magical about fans. I don't say it's her, it's fans. Fans, I mean, if you are able to captivate people that listen to your music in the way she apparently have done it for her fans, I mean, they give you so much power, because I'm always saying she doesn't have the power. The fans gave her the power she has, because people of all kind of, I mean, I see that she has kids, old people, everybody's so into her, and she's very smart, because she doesn't come over as an arrogant person. Maybe she is, because she must know that it's her that have this power, but she gives so much love and attention to the fans that she make even stronger this kind of thing, because the fans really put it out there that she's like larger than life. And I think she did it herself. Me, let's say, for instance, I don't care about her music. I like her. She has like good things about her, because my husband said, "Do you like Taylor Swift?" I cannot even sing one song of Taylor Swift. I know the title, but if you ask me, no, I never sang a Taylor Swift song, but I like her. And being in the music business myself, I've met people that work with her. One of my musicians is the percussion player with her. And I ask, how is she? And they all tell me the way we see her, she really care about the people behind her, the people that work for her. She's very nice, and that gives you power, because if everybody loves you and likes you, I mean, that's your strength. I mean, if somebody likes you, and I go to somebody say, "Hi, how is her?" I say, "No, I love her. Don't touch her." That's why she's untouchable, because the fans protect her. She's just, the bracelet with the French things. She has created like a force. And I always say, chapeau to the girl. She did great. I'm one of them. I'm a Taylor Swift fan, and I don't know none of the song. I just like her. I just like her as a woman. And why? I don't know. I think because she's smart, and she's likable. I'm always saying, be like her. I mean, don't be arrogant about yourself. Just give something to your fans. The fans can make you or break you, and they just adore. And this at the time was remember Oprah Winfrey was the same. She was just untouchable. It was not because Oprah Winfrey was powerful. It was because of the people that loved her. And when she was saying B, they were going for B. When she was saying C, they were going for C, because she was able to captivate those people so deeply in the core that they loved her. And I mean, like a Caesar in Rome, he fell down when the people really didn't love him anymore. So Caesar, the big emperor, was not the emperor anymore, because the people hated him. He was still the emperor, but he had no power, because the people around him didn't care for him and didn't support him. That's what fans are supporters of yours. And if you can do that as an artist, I think you have created some magic. We mentioned Andrea Bocelli before. I mean, I love Andrea as a dear friend, and I'm always say what he's been able to create for himself, the image that he has, because we know him personally. He's a very nice person, very funny, very caring, very outgoing, but nobody sees that. We see Andrea goes on stage, and I look around, and everybody sees him like they see like God that sings. And this is something that he has created for himself, and that magic things made him untouchable. I mean, sometimes he doesn't sing the perfect note. Nobody will ever say that. Nobody will even notice that, and nobody is allowed to say that, because we don't care. He's Andrea Bocelli. So those people I really admire, because they have created something very powerful, given themselves just doing what they do, what they love, but because basically the fans love you because you love them. and they can feel the love. So they're just giving, and now they can just be happy they have that. But it's giving, give you back. It's like a boomerang.
That is so true.
I think.
You give them happiness, you give them hope, you give them, and Andrea Bocelli is actually a horseman too. I've seen him riding quite a few times.
Oh yeah. When I performed with him, I remember he's blind. So first I thought that he could see a little bit, but he doesn't see anything. I saw him after the show, basically wearing a tuxedo and everything. They took out a horse that was not his horse in a place where it was not a place he knew, and they said, the horse. He touched the horse. He went on top of the horse, and he went far and fast until the corner of this little place that we were, and he came back, and you could feel that there was this kind of connection between him, and he loves animal. He has something. I don't know. I remember I was saying, how does he know? I don't know if the horse stopped at the end of the edge of the place of Andrea. I don't know, but he really loves animals. And when they say when you don't have one of your like the visions, you have some other things. And I think Andrea has something very strong with animals. Yeah, it's more an animal person than a people person, because it's adorable. Not with everybody. You have to know him to, otherwise he's more like, he's in his own shell. But if you know, he's super funny.
But they say when you lose one sense, you gain other senses. So
Oh, you need that. The first time I saw him was before I met him, many years before. I saw him perform at the Concert Gebouw in Amsterdam, which is a big concert hall, and he was on stage with a big orchestra. And I remember I was sitting on the second row, and on the first row, somebody had a program in his hand and let the program fell down. I was sitting behind the person. I saw it happen and didn't hear a thing. And I remember Andrea turned his head. How can he hear it from them? Because he has an hearing that is just like, and smell. Because backstage, me and one of the singers, we just took a mint when we were performing together. But I mean, we were just like not really close to Andrea. And he turned his head and said, "What are you guys eating?" It's mint. I was like, how do you know? So yeah, but he's another strong person.
Oh my goodness. Well, you have a new project out. Tell us about Beyond.
Beyond is a project that is very close. You're very informed. I like that. It's when we go back, when I started to perform in the United States, wherever I go, I'm always say 50% of the love that people have for me, they have, my fans, is because I'm Italian. If I would have been like, my husband is Dutch, they would have put me and say, oh, she's Dutch, but that's it. Because I'm Italian, already when I walk in, they're like, oh, she's Italian, they love me. So I started to feel that connection with my country, and I became proud of being Italian thanks to the United States and the people that really saw something special in me. And every time I was in Italy, I started to make this little video in the little villages, not in Venice per se, also in Venice, but also in Portogruaro, where I am. We have this beautiful, you've never been to Italy, but we have so many beautiful little places outside the big city of ours that are just exquisite. Actually, those are the places that will make you fall in love with Italy, where you see, the little coffee shop, the little store, all stuff that we are lost so I was talking to a couple of friends of mine that they are expert in territorial marketing here, and they say, what about we do something where you bring American and you show them what is Italy to you? Have you seen the program of Stanley Tucci that he was going to cook with so I was like, and I love to do that. So I put together this project that actually we are aiming to do with PBS, who is very interesting. I want to bring country singers to Italy to film with them like a concert that we want to repeat every year. So I bring country, and then I do like a little documentary. I take, for instance, Trace Adkins, and I bring it to have a cup of coffee, or to my favorite restaurants, or I teach him how to make pasta. We're gonna drink wine in a winery where they make wine, and then we make, let's say, it's like a documentary documentary style with music in between. And then the year after, we are going to do it again, and people can come to us. We organize another concert. People can come, can enjoy the concert, and they can go and see all the territory and the stuff. And they of course, I have created all the old people working. I have the region working with me. I even have the Italian government working with me, because it's Italy, let's say, even you, if you come to Italy, probably for the first time, you're going to do Venice, Florence, Rome, Naples. You're never going to adventure outside a big city. And those cities have what they call the over tourism, and too many people there. And in the same time, all the territory outside those big cities is equally beautiful, is not more, and nobody goes there. So all those little villages starts to die. You have old people, no tourism, so the activity closed. So the Italian government had a project, a program that they were working, trying to move people in, let's say, we call it the entroterra, which is beyond the big city. And so I joined forces with them, and we're going to do that. So every year, and basically is what Andrea Bocelli has created with Il Teatro del Silenzio. He organized already for 20 years a concert in his small village where he's from, Laiatico. And 10,000 people goes in the territory for the concert, and then they stay in the region to go and see all the beauty around, the winery, the sea, the little villages, the little... So you have, we went in Laiatico actually with my husband last year for El Teatro del Silenzio. You hear in this little coffee shop, in this little village, you hear people speaking English, French, German. It's not overcrowded because people sleep everywhere in the region, but then you have movement. And then the night of the concert, you have 10,000 people all sitting in the middle of nowhere to listen to the big concert. So we want to do, it took Andrea 20 years to do that. So we want to do it in a small scale. Every year we want to create a concert where I take a couple of singers from America, and then I show the territory. We film everything and we show to you guys in the United States. And the year after, hopefully they want to come for another concert and to experience Italy, let's say the Italy that nobody knows, which is the real Italy. Because if you go to Rome, it's beautiful. It's an open air museum, but it's so congested, just so many people. And you just go half an hour outside Rome, and you're going to be in a place that you are going to be like, oh my gosh, this is a dream. I mean, because that's what Italy is. The simplicity of life. I mean, even though you have to see Rome, you have to see Venice, you have to see Florence, but for one day. And then instead, I see not my friends actually, because they know. When they come to Italy, I see tourists that they do Venice. And they do it with a map, They say, okay, Piazza San Marco Square, and they walk there and they pass through all this canal and this amazing beauty. They see nothing because they're just looking for the next Palazzo Ducale. And I'm like, put away the map. It's an island, so you're not going to get lost, and just enjoy. You want to sit and drink a cup of coffee in that little bar because you like that bar, just go there. Don't go and because you read in a book that you have to go and drink a coffee. Everywhere is nice. And they do the same Italy. They do Venice, then they go for 4 hours in a bus to reach Milan. Then they spend one night in Milan, then 4 other hours the day after to go to Florence. And I'm like, just go to Venice, and then don't spend time in bus, in train. Just go one day in Venice, then you're going to see Murano, Burano. You go and take a car, or you take a bus and you go and visit another village or a winery. Stay there. So you have 10 days. You're not 10 days in a bus, you're 10 days in the territory. And that's what I'm aiming to do. I'm working with Beyond. I want people to come and experience Italy. Wherever they are, they have to stay and just go around like we Italians do. My husband, actually, for this project, I've been going, tomorrow actually, I go to San Daniele, which is a place only an hour from here, where they make the famous prosciutto di San Daniele in the region. I mean, if you go there, it's in a mountain, it's spectacular. And tomorrow I'm gonna to talk and interview one of those producers, because there are many of them. And so he's gonna show me how they make prosciutto, because it's an art, it's a craft. Is an excellence of Italy. So I'm discovering myself these things. But then when I shared it with people from my fans, they're like, oh my gosh, I never knew that. And I said, I didn't knew it in myself. So I wanna educate people, inspire people. So when you come to Italy, you have to see Venice and then take a car and go around and see all the rest.
Oh, I am totally in. And
Yeah.
always having a good host and a good person that knows what's going on in a certain place is always the best. We just had not long ago, we had Dr. Jess Fenner on talking about Pompeii. She's a Pompeii historian.
Oh my
So
gosh.
yeah, I'm in.
People think that Pompeii, you go and see. I've seen Pompeii 2 times, and every time I never took the guide. I just go by myself and I look around, and it's spectacular. But once I remember, the first time I went, I was 18. So at that age, you think you know everything, but you do nothing. You don't know nothing. I wanted to spare $10, so I didn't took the guide with my friends. And we walk around, we can understand. And then I remember we follow one of those guides, and those people knew everything about Pompeii, and we understood that that little place was just a swimming pool where the Roman people were taking a sauna with olive oil. And of course, then they found out that we were not of the group, so we were sent away. And then we couldn't understand a thing. But Pompeii is, I mean, Italy, it's, Pompeii is amazing, but Italy is beautiful everywhere.
Oh, I'll introduce you to Dr. Jess.
Oh, I would love to know more
You
about
will
Pompeii.
get along so
Oh,
well.
man, I'm sure. Oh my gosh, an expert about Pompeii.
Oh, now, as a performer and going through many genres and also on social media and stuff, what do you say to the younger generation who is now on social media dealing with some of the things that you didn't have to deal with as a singer, years ago? The haters, the things, the issues that,
Yeah, I know. We come back to the same thing. I personally think that social media, it's beautiful because it's given also artists like us an outlet to be seen and to be heard by the world that before was impossible. An artist needed a record company with a lot of money so we could record and then just go on television. Now, because of social media, all of them, from TikTok, from Instagram, they're all good. About the AIDS is because we come again, we concentrate too much on those kind of things. I think if I get something that is said to me that I don't like, I just delete it. I don't make a point out of it. I don't give any attention. If somebody said to me, not you're beautiful, but they say something meaningful and positive, I highlight that. So other people sees that, oh, Giada love when we say that we love the guitar solo. And I give attention to that. And then people is because, it's a repetition. If we give attention, I see sometimes that people, maybe they don't even hate you, but they want to say something, because if they say something bad, if I don't respond, somebody else will. And they the thing is going to be like expanding and becoming a huge things out of it. So to young kids, I want to say, if somebody says something bad about you, just push delete, block the person. If somebody says something nice about you, maybe thank that person, repost it. So another person that sees that you give attention to that positive comments will do the same, because bottom line, everybody wants to be noticed. Everybody wants to that you talk about them. If you talk about artists, every fan likes that you talk about them, that you give importance to them. So just the haters, you're always gonna, they're miserable people. I'm always say, when I read review of the bad review about something, I never read those, because then if you see who's the people reviewing, it probably was an artist that didn't succeed and became somebody that review. Because I'm like, if you have nothing to say. In the Netherlands, I was a friend with one of the most famous journalists that Holland ever had, Henk van der Meijden. He said to me once, if you really hated somebody and didn't care about something, he was not saying something bad about the person. He was totally avoiding the person, never mentioning it. Was having a new show, he didn't like the show, he was not even mentioning, because he said, if you say something negative, you're going to have what we said. We're going to have people that was going to defend that journalist is a stupid man because he said, so just, he said, you don't like something, don't talk about it. And so for the kids, you guys put a music there or something out there of a picture of yourself and somebody hates about, don't just delete it. I really delete the comments. I don't even answer. It's not even worth your time. Just concentrate on the positive. Make a good point about the positive things, and people will repeat, because we are animals of repetition. We do what other do. So if we, let's say, if Beyonce tomorrow starts to just say, oh, a fans B said that I was wearing a beautiful dress, and fan C, all the fans is gonna write, even the one that maybe they said, oh, the breasts were too showing, they would say, yeah, but she looked very cute with the dress, and everybody will. I mean, I do believe that. I studied psychology. I think that that's the thing. We're just we just like to emulate other people. We repeat what other people do. So if everybody is bad and they get attention, then I want to be bad too. When I was doing a PBS passion, I did the day before the concert, I was going to meet kids at the university, the Department of Foreign Languages or Music. And I will never forget, because one of the first questions I was getting all the time, he said, I want to be famous. What should I do? And I was like, you want to be famous doing what? I don't know. I want to be famous. I want to be an influencer. I was like, first of all, I don't want to be influenced. The word influencer for me is horrible, because I don't want to be influenced by anybody. I don't want to influence. It's negative. It's not a positive thing. So you want to be an example. Said, so what is your talent? And they were musicians, for instance. They said, I don't know, I play the piano. Okay, then try to become a great piano player, and then you became the most famous piano player out there. But that was not what they wanted. They wanted to be famous. And that implied also, if I have to show my breast to be famous, I'll do it. And I said, but that's not what you want to remember for. You want to be maybe famous and recognized and loved for something, for a talent that you have, not for stupid things. But so that was very scary for me, because when I was a young girl, I never wanted to be famous. I always say, I wish I was super famous right now, for one reason and one reason only. If you are super famous, it will allow me, for instance, to do what I love so much, perform and do my music often, more. Now I do maybe one concert a month. If I'm very famous, I get to do it every night. And that's the only reason why I would love to be super famous, because I can do it more and more and more, and I can bring more happiness to other people. That's the only reason why I would love to be super famous. And so I would say to kids, they have to rethink. They have to have a passion, to master it, to become the best as they can in wherever their love is. And I will also say, not everybody is born to be a singer, an actor, a dancer. There are so many jobs that are dying that nobody wants to do. Like if you are very good with your hands and you can build furnitures in wood, just start your own company and be a carpenter, so be a shoemaker, create a business that is not existing, do jobs that, because I mean, it feels like nowadays everybody wants to do the same. They want to be influencer, they want to be singer, actors, famous, doctors, and nobody wants to do jobs that, what is wrong about being a farmer?
Absolutely nothing.
Right? I mean, actually, the other day, my mother said, you're crazy, because I said I wanted to buy a chicken. I don't even know what to do with it. My mother said, we can't have a chicken here. I said, that's too bad, because I would love to have a chicken, to see how it works to have a chicken, to have an egg in a day. I don't even know where you find the egg. So my mother was like, you insane. But I mean, if you have passion for being outdoor, just be a farmer, start your farm, do something, study for it, because nowadays there is also knowledge behind all the being a farmer or being whatever job. So have an education in the things that you like, and try to do something that is, forget about being an influencer, forget about being an actor, a singer. I mean, also because it's not for everybody, and not everybody can become something. So just, unless it's your passion, if you think you're a good actor, a good singer, a good dancer, just go for it. Just knock all the doors that you can have and try, but not do it just because you want to be famous and you think that being a singer will make you famous. Not true, unfortunately. But yeah, that's
Giada, oh my goodness, this has been the best hour. I have had so much
talk for an
fun
hour.
speaking. We have, yeah, it's been an hour.
Wait.
So I am going to link everything in the description of the podcast so people can get in touch with you about Beyond if they're interested, and coming to Italy, experiencing everything, getting lifestyle tips from you, and also your music. Of course. So thank you so much for being with me today.
No, thank you so very much. And I mean, it's been very lovely to talk to you. We talked a lot. I didn't know it was an hour.
But it's
And I
been
hope
so
that
fun
you join in. Yeah,
to sit and talk face to face. You
that
know?
was nice. Exactly. And I hope to, if you come to Italy, you have family now. Yeah, you can
Oh, I'm
come.
coming.
September
I'm
is the
coming.
trip, by the way. If somebody wants to come. Hey,
I'm coming there, and you're
that's what
gonna
I
show
do.
me
I
everything.
treat everybody like extended family. So that's an Italian thing, my dear.
I love it. You are such a beautiful person inside and out, and your music is absolutely gorgeous. So
So
everything will be linked. I am Tatiana Ryan. This is the Businessy Podcast, and this was Giada Valenti.
I must be dreaming. I see your coffee next to mine. For years I've been sleeping, been living my life, and I was fine until I found you. My world became new. You make me feel reckless. You made me walk across the line, gave me the strength to start over. You made it so easy for me to find the 3 words I've never said. But today I'll say I love you for the first time. You gave me a reason. You opened your arms, you gave me time. Now I'm finally breathing, embracing the fear of my heart broken. I fall through to be with you. You make me feel fearless, to take on the world, the lies I had. I've been waiting a lifetime. When hopes were all gone, you made me find the 3 words I've never said. But today I'll say I love you. For the first time I believe you're gonna take me home. 'Cause you're the love of my life. You make me shine when I'm terrified. For the first time I believe in a love this strong. 'Cause we made it through. I never have to prove what we have is true. And today I'll say I love you. For the first time. For the first time I believe you're gonna take me home. 'Cause you're the love of my life. You made me shine when I'm terrified. For the first time I believe in a love this strong. 'Cause we made it through. I never have to prove what we have is true. Here I am waiting for the morning sun, counting the seconds until the night is done. 'Cause today I'll say I love you for the first time. Today I'll say I love you for the first time.